Here I am. Hello, sweetheart. Let's spend our 30 minutes usefully. And as usual, I have to keep saying, I think of it every time, and I think have to keep doing the same meditation. Bless our body, bless our speech. It's really a purification in body, speech, and mind. I think they find a way to make everything purification. So it's a wonderful practice. But explicitly, it's about the speech. And that's our major problem in life and can be our greatest blessing. Simply saying a kind word, can save a person's life and body as well. I remember even that just means the way you look. I remember one time in Santa Cruz when I was living there, and I went down to Starbucks for coffee in the morning, 8 o'clock, had my robes on, of course, and this woman walked up and she just said, just seeing a Buddhist nun saved her life. She said she was feeling completely suicidal and she felt it was a good sign. Well, that's the body. I didn't say a word. Your body, which means how you present yourself to other people. We're so self-conscious we don't even think of how we can be useful to others. It's very powerful. That's why I always quote Grace Kelly. Of course I have to look beautiful, she said. People have to look at me. So we should remember that. Walking down the street, you can be of benefit to others just by how you appear. That's your body. And then you've got your speech. This is not even your mind yet, so much we can do with our body and speech to be of use. And of course, there's so much we do with our body and speech that's harmful. So let's purify. We can put the practice up, Mary, or whoever's in charge today. So all you need to do is just open your eyes for the mantras, because we'll do a little visualization, okay? All right, so get ourselves comfortable, remembering the 8-point posture, or the rough 7 points. Again, in this case, the body doesn't meditate, but the body being in a conducive position can really help the mind, because as we know from the Vajrayana perspective, at a subtle level, body and mind are inextricably linked, So just check our bodies. If you're sitting in the full lotus position, which is perfect, of course, how marvelous. It aligns all the subtle energies. If not, you're ordinary cross-legged. If not, in a chair. If we're in a chair, then don't slump into the chair. This is important. Hold yourself up. Hold yourself up and have your feet firmly planted on the ground. So to sit in a very comfortable sofa to meditate is like foolish. So be comfortable, back straight. Well, they say, have your shoulders square. They also say to relax. Well, no, they don't. What do they say? No, they don't say. They say if first is your legs, then second is your bottom. If you're sitting cross-legged, have a cushion just under your coccyx. That's the ideal, or whatever suits you. Then third is keep your shoulders upright. But I add something here. When we put our body upright, we tense the muscles automatically. And then when we relax the muscles, we flop the body. So we've got to have the body upright, but the muscles relax. So put your body upright, have your shoulders square, and now flop your muscles. Consciously flop the muscles, especially our abdomen. We always squeeze tight there. Relax the muscles, okay, but be upright. Your hand in the prayer, in the meditation gesture. Typical one is this, if you can do this. Otherwise, just relax. Have your hand on your lap somehow. Up to you. And then your head, several things about the head. First of all, slightly tilted forward, because if your head is thrust back, it makes the mind more agitated. Slightly tilted forward, chin tucked in a little bit, and then your jaw relaxed, and the lips slightly apart, tip of the tongue resting up the top teeth, just near the palate. The yogis have found when they meditate long term, this prevents you from dribbling. It's very practical. It's all practical. Tip of the tongue behind the top teeth, just near the palate. And then your eyes looking down. All the great yogis, again, when they meditate day and night, especially during the day, so the light can come in to help them keep their mind sharp, they keep their eyes open. But of course, we get distracted because we haven't got good concentration. So then maybe lightly closed. Eyes looking down beneath your eyelids, as if you're looking along your nose towards the ground. So settle into this position and then forget all about it, okay? And so we just think we're going to do this little meditation using these marvelous Sanskrit syllables, which all the holy beings of the Lama say they're so powerful. That's why they don't translate. The Tibetans always leave the mantras in Sanskrit, because they all say there's something very powerful about these sounds, course, one doesn't see that immediately. We have to look into it. Of course, sound is words, isn't it? And the greatest gift of the Buddha is his speech, the power of speech. You can have Buddha in front of you, sitting there beautiful for 1,000 years. You won't learn a thing because we can't access his mind. We're not subtle enough. So we need the speech. It's huge. And then in our daily lives, we need our speech to be useful, to get things done. We want people to, listen to us, want people to do our wishes. Speech is incredibly important. Giving advice to people. So saying these syllables is said to be blessing our speech. But also in this little visualization, as we know they're using it to help purify body and mind as well as speech in the visualization. So just thinking we're going for 30 minutes, 28 minutes, we're going to do this practice, purify our body, speech, and mind. It's particularly so that we can purify and make our speech beneficial. How amazing. Little refuge prayer here, very sweet. I take refuge in the three jewels. May I become a Buddha to benefit all. I take refuge in the three jewels. May I become a Buddha to benefit all. I take refuge in the three jewels. May I become a Buddha to benefit all. So if you've received initiation, you see yourself as a deity, and if not, you visualize Buddha above your crown. So now we visualize, imagine that on our tongue is the syllable R. If you don't know the Sanskrit or Tibetan, it's AH, standing upright. Doesn't say the color. On the tongue. And that turns into a moon disk, which will be white, like a flat white cushion. And on that is a white Om, standing upright in the center. Surrounding it now are all this, basically it's the Sanskrit alphabet. First the vowels, white. Of course, we don't know them, so we have to pretend. They're standing upright, circling clockwise around the Om. And then counterclockwise, surrounding the white vowels are the red consonants, standing upright on our tongue. Om in the center, on a moon disk, the white vowels, the red consonants. And then clockwise are the blue, Rinpoche calls the dependent related heart mantra. So all the syllables of the mantra of dependent arising, all on our tongue. So now what we're going to do is bless these syllables on our tongue with the energy of the body, speech, and mind of all the holy beings of the universe. So imagine from these syllables, light goes out, all the colors, white, red, blue, to all the 10 directions. North, south, east, west, northeast, northwest, southeast, southwest, and up and down. That's the entire universe, isn't it? Light goes out and hooks the energy of the blessed speech of all the holy beings, all the Buddhas, all the Bodhisattvas, all the Arya beings, even all the ordinary people who've purified their minds, who practice good ethics, The energy of their pure speech comes and hooks with that light and comes back. And all dissolve into your syllables. And as Rinpoche says, this is gained. The power of speech is gained first by silence, not passive-aggressive silence, conscious silence. Not only that, and this is the next level, when you do speak, this purity, power of speech comes from not saying lies, not using harsh language, not bad mouthing behind backs, and not just rabbiting on. These are the four typical ways we misuse our speech to harm others and ending up, of course, harming ourselves and making our speech just a load of rubbish, totally useless. No one listens to us. No one believes us. No one does what we want. No wonder we get frustrated. So we have to purify all that, doesn't it? And then, of course, the other way to purify your speech is to say powerful words like this, say mantras. Say mantras. It purifies your speech. And, of course, purifies your mind. And when we understand the Vajrayana system, we understand that at the subtle level, we've got subtle body and subtle mind. And the subtle body consists of 72,000 subtle channels coursing through our gross body from head to toe. And coursing through those channels are all these different wind energies, prana, wind energies. And inextricably linked to these winds is our different states of mind. This is not neuroscience, obviously. Very different system. So when you purify when you say a positive, when you have even a positive thought, that purifies the wind energy connected to that. When you say a positive word, that is the wind itself. As they say in Tantra, wind is sound, and the purest sound is mantra. So it benefits our mind, and not to mention benefiting others. It's very logical. So all this energy of all the holy beings coming back and absorbing into our body speech, our syllables on our tongue, making them radiant like nectar, white, red, and blue, delicious, you know. How amazing. So now we recite. And the first ones we recite as the vowels. So we imagine white nectar coming from all the vowels on our tongue and filling our body. And this time, this is where the purification that comes in of all the body, speech, and mind. So we imagine this purifies our body. First of all, makes our body light, purifies all the sickness, the heaviness, the difficulties of our body. But crucially, we imagine this white nectar purifies all the karmic imprints of all the harm we've ever done since beginningless time to other sentient beings with our bodies, all of which is imprinted in our mind, the tendencies of which are imprinted in our mind. We imagine this is purified, eradicated by this blissful white nectar filling us, coming from the white vowels as we recite them. Om a I u ri li o ang swaha. Om a I u ri li o ang swaha. Om I u ri li o ang swaha. Full of this white nectar. So happy. Purifying our bodies. How amazing. Such that, think about it, such that now our bodies can only be of benefit to others. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? You can only benefit others. Imagine that potential. So now we recite the red consonants. And this time we purify the speech itself. So we write the red nectar, filling us completely, coming from the syllables, totally filling us and purifying or even just sort of if we feel a bit hopeless with our speech and can't say properly what we mean and don't know the right words and kind of stumble a bit with our speech inappropriately, or not even meaning to be negative, but just know how to use our speech wisely, we mumble along, getting confused. All of that purified. And also particularly the imprints from lying. And also, as I always say, we mightn't often lie, but we speculate like crazy because we're so eager to say something and to show we know an answer. We want to make people happy. We say yes, and we say something. I always joke and say, even what time's that shop closed? You'll say 4 o'clock. And the person says, are you sure? And you say, yes. And then you discover you're wrong. Oh, I didn't know I was wrong, So we speculate such a lot. In other words, we confuse people. So all the lying, all the speculating, all the bad mouthing behind backs, which we love to do. And that means all the politicians, the next door neighbor, the people at work, the family, all the people who aren't there, and you're saying all bad things about them to other people. This is one of the heaviest ones, creating so much disharmony. And purifying all the abusive speech, shouting at people. And then purifying all the rabbiting on about nothing, just idle kind of mindless chatter. All of this, imagine, purified since beginningless time. How amazing. As you recite the consonants. Om ka 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 ganga cha 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 jana ta 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 dana ta 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 dana pa 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 ba ma yada lara sha sha sa hak sa swaha. Om ka 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 ganga cha 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 jana ta 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 dana ta 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 dana pa pa ba ba ma yada lara sha sha sa hak sa swaha. Om ka 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 ganga ba ba ma ya la 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 sha 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 haksa swaha. So delighted. Full of this red nectar, all of our speech become clear, become pure, appropriate. Even just saying good morning, it'll benefit whoever hears you. Words are appropriate, clear, and beneficial. And then whatever you do gets done. Whatever you say, people do your wishes, you know. This is so amazing. We need it in our daily life. All of this, full of this red nectar. How amazing. So now we purify the mind, which of course is the source of all the problems. And of course, which part of our mind we purify? The delusions, the ego grasping, the root delusion that believes in the intrinsic me. And then the attachment to get what the me wants, and the anger and the panic attack when it doesn't, and all the other 83,997 loads of rubbish. A load of rubbish, we'll say in Australia. All of this instantaneously purified, and all the nonsense. Because why this is what's so powerful about all the Buddha's teachings. He has found from his own experience that these neuroses are not intrinsic to us, are not at the core of our being, therefore can be removed. This is the bottom, this is the basis of every single tiny Buddhist practice. This is what he's discovered. It's pretty outrageous, very uplifting, very encouraging. All the delusions, all the neuroses, and therefore, of course, all the fears and the dramas, because they're the source. The source of fear and all the dramas is these delusions, all disappeared, gone like a puff of smoke, disappeared into thin air. So the point is, what's left? It's not just nothing. What's left is your virtue, your wisdom, your clarity, your love, your compassion. And you know what? What's left as well? The bonus, and we never think about this, is bliss, happiness, fulfillment. Because this is what comes when delusions are gone. Because delusions cause fear and drama, and virtues cause happiness. It's as simple as that. So imagine this as we recite these syllables, purifying our mind. How amazing. Om ye dhamma hetu prabhava hetun te shantatagaro yevadat te shanchayo nirova evam vadi mahashramanaye svaha. Om ye dhamma hetu prabhava hetun te shantatagato yevadat te shanchayo niroda evam vadi mahashramanaye svaha. Om ye dhamma hetu prabhava hetun te shantatagato Iyavadate shanchayo niroda evam vadi mahashramana svaha. How amazing. Delusion's gone and virtue and bliss. Very simple. Happiness, joy, fulfillment. This is so, I mean, it's almost so simple we can't hear it, you know. This is our potential. Imagine it fully developed. How incredible. Full of this radiant blue nectar. So now you imagine the blue syllables on our tongue melt into the red consonants. The red consonants melt into the white vowels. The white vowels melt into the white om. And then the om melts into the moon disk. And the moon just turns into an R. And that turns into pink-colored nectar. And that dissolves into your tongue. And as Rinpoche says, it makes it Vajra nature, indestructible. Think of your tongue like that. Sounds so strange, doesn't it? Indestructible. Nothing can take away harm, can take away from the power of your speech, from the power of your speech. You know, think like this. And then whatever you say is benefit. Your wishes will be fulfilled. You'll be able to benefit sentient beings. How incredible. How amazing. And confidence, as Lama says, Rinpoche says that you have the power of speech of all the Buddhas, the Bodhisattvas, the sages, the yogis have all entered your speech, and that your speech is perfected. Think, I have perfected my speech. And the minute that sentient beings hear your speech, it purifies their emotional and disturbing thoughts. And whatever you say gets actualized. I mean, think about this. This is extraordinary. And it's gotten, this is a practice to purify the speech. I mean, who would have thought you'd have a meditation to purify your speech? It's just so delicious, Because in our culture, we don't distinguish. We just think my anger is the problem. You're right. My jealousy is the problem. You're right. But what comes out your mouth, expressing the anger and jealousy, that's what does the harm. So first, control the behavior. First, control the speech. They say when you're with others, you control your body and speech. When you're on your own, now you can afford to work with your mind. Of course, when you're advanced, you can do both. It's crucial. We just don't get this in our culture. We can be meditating for years and still not get this point, that speech and body, which is what the basis of all the first level of practice is, abiding by the laws of karma, living in vows. Vows are only about behavior, people. They're not about the mind. They're about behavior, how you present to the world, to protect you from future suffering, and then eventually to help you be of benefit to others. To be so delighted doing this little practice. So we have this sweet little dedication prayer. May my tongue have all the courage of the ones gone to bliss, and by the power manifesting from these glorious words, may all sentient beings be subdued, and whatever words I say, may all these be accomplished instantly. So now we can sing His Holiness Dalai Lama's lovely prayer, requesting Lama Zopa to come back quickly, please. I've heard rumors that he's in the womb, but who knows? Somebody consulted some clairvoyant and they said he's in the womb already. Let's hope. So let's say this verses His Holiness wrote for us to recite from our hearts. So it's two things we're doing here. By saying this prayer, we're doing His Holiness's wishes, which is already itself marvelous, and we're requesting Rinpoche to come. So it's extra benefit. Peerless teacher and assembly of the children of the victorious ones, Shravakas and Pratyeka Buddhas, victorious Lozang, father and sons, along with the lineage masters, all the objects of refuge in infinite lands, please bestow the virtue and goodness of accomplishing this prayer here and now. Remember, prayer means aspiration. May, please, may. Everything exists on the tip of the wish, intention. That's the meaning of it. It's saying it, wanting it, It's so powerful. Everything exists on the tip of the wish. It's the start of everything. Holding and spreading the Muni's precious and complete teachings through explanation and practice. You wore the armor of patience that's never discouraged. Incomparable, venerable Guru, to you I make request. Something's missing. While striving single-pointedly for the sake of the victorious one's teachings, the sole gateway through which all benefit and happiness emerge, and from other living beings, you suddenly departed to peace. Such a great loss. Nevertheless, through the undeceiving truth of the blessings of the ocean of three jewels and the great waves of bodhicitta of the children of the victorious ones, may the smile of a reincarnation swiftly beam in glory for fortunate disciples. This is good. And then we think it's 5 minutes left still. Does anyone have any questions? Got 5 minutes. Any questions, just in case? Little window of opportunity. If not, it's really fine. So we leave it like that. We dedicate these seeds we've planted in this 30 minutes. How delicious. We nourish them from this moment forward with our practice. so that they do ripen in the future, as we motivated in the beginning, that will lead sentient beings to enlightenment. And then secondly, we'll sing them both in Tibetan. If you've got Gewadi and the bodhicitta there, Mary. And then secondly, the bodhicitta prayer. May bodhicitta grow and grow in the hearts of all. Okay, just these two together we can say. Yeah. Oh, His Holiness, we can say His Holiness for sure. In the land encircled by snow mountains, you are the source of all happiness and good, all powerful Chenrezig Tenzin Gyatso. Please remain until samsara ends. And now Gewadi and Jangchub Semchog. There we go. Gewadi Nyudo Dag Lama Sange Drubgyone Drowa Chikyang Malupa Dei Sala Gopa Shog Jangchub Semchog Rinpoche. The other one. Sorry, Jangchub. It was there before. It was there earlier, Mary. It must be before that. There it is. Jangchob, Semchog, Rinpoche, Makie, Panam, Keguchig, Kiepanyampa, Mepayang, Gongne, Gongju, Pabashog. Well, that's all. Thank you, precious people. I'll see you again somewhere. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Much love, everybody. Much love. Thank you, thank you.